I'm getting very near to my 500th nightcap. I do 2 a week, so that's 1,000 nightcaps I've managed to do over the last few years. I still get fantastic views. People seem to like the way I present things and some of the things that I show. I've had quite a few suggestions as to what I should do for the 500th nightcap. One or two of them weren't quite so pleasant, but basically they're all good. And quite a few people have asked, why don't I do a question and answer session? So if you want to ask me a question, just put it in the comments and I'll get somebody to read the questions out to us, hopefully somebody pretty, and we'll do like a live, well not be a live, but we'll do a half-hour video session or a 20-minute video session of me answering questions. Anything you want. Me, my personal life, what I think of YouTube, not politics, not religion, because I just haven't got any thoughts on them. It's all that anybody wants to hear about. Let's keep it nice. Any questions, I'll do my best to try and answer them. I'm going to carry on stripping the steam engine. I'm going to take the slide valve assembly, the slide valve rod off it, and eventually lift the whole cylinder off. As I kept saying, I think this bit is being changed. I don't think it's original. There's a check nut on there, which means that that will turn, but you've only got half a turn to thread each way, and that definitely has been bushed in there. Somebody's put a bush in there, so this has been got at some time in its life. I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer so you can see what's actually going on in here. I've put a stamp on, I've stamped a T for top, just to make sure that the valve goes in the same way around, because it was running perfectly alright before I started to take it to bits. I'm going to count the turns as I unscrew this just to make sure I put it back in the same place. I don't see why that shouldn't just screw. It is, yeah. And we'll start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 teens. I know that's interesting. It's a cast iron slide valve, but it's got bronze pieces put on top and bottom, little bronze edges. Don't know if that's original or not. Massive ports. I'll bring the camera in so you can see that has definitely had an insert put in there. You see the focus, you bastard. See the insert that's been put in there in the brass engine of the top and bottom of the valve. And the valve, just a rattle fit in there, moves around nice and slack, and it's steam pressure on there that keeps the valve sealed against the port face. We'll screw this out of here now. Nice fine thread, that'll be BSF. But that's definitely not original, no doubt about it. Somebody's changed or modified that. Yeah, it's definitely been changed. The gland on there, I'll leave that on until I get the cylinder itself actually removed. I'm going to disconnect the crosshead next. This is all marked. It's got a A stamp there, A stamp there, and an A stamp there, so it only goes back together one way. They're nicely made bolts, special ones. The big end's also marked as well. There's a drill in there that'll go all the way down to the big end bearing, and that allows oil down into that bearing. Put these bolts back in here, then the wood, or the side pieces actually come off. Right, let's have a right, so these pieces come off. The beautiful bronze bushing in there. Once again, there's no wear on here. That one's not marked, so I'm going to put a mark on there to make sure it goes that face out over. Just a little letter mark on there. That's it. Once again, nice bronze bush. You can go back onto it, onto there where they actually live. These will go together with check nuts on or lock nuts when it does go back together, because it's all adjustable. It's also all marked. There's a series of marks down there, so it can only go back together one way. Actually in 3 parts. I've got the rod, that bearing cap. See, it's all marked down there. Crank pin's in beautiful condition, and the crank pin can be easily changed. It's only held on with one big nut. Putting this back together. Keep it all in assembly. All this wants is just cleaning, polishing up. Nothing nasty or untoward yet we've found. See, the flywheel goes on the end, and that's what stops the end flirt on the crank. I'm going to loosen the big nut off on top of the piston. There should be a split pin through there. There's a hole for a split pin, there's no pin in it. And then that is not tight. That's probably on a taper. Comes straight away. I'm going to take the piston out or not, but now I can, now that taper's broken off. Well, not broken off, but broken. Well, released and that's a canny release. Next is this crosshead yay. I'm going to take that off as well. There's marks on there. Once again, it's all been nicely marked up for us. Nothing's tight, so it hasn't obviously been interesting. They're little shoulder nuts. Focus bastard. Those nuts have got a little shoulder on, little collar which fits into there. This is just surface rust on here, it'll all clean off, no problem at all. I noticed that bolt there isn't screwed into anything. That one is. And the same bolts, nut on top of there. Once again, everything's sort of slack and being tightened up. Right, so this should now quite a formidable chunk of material that. I think I'll just leave it together at the minute, there's no need to remove it. Oops. It gets even more interesting when you look inside of there. Right. There's been some interesting things happening in there by the look of it. Bloody hell. I might as well take the piston out, I think. Or at least drop the piston rod out of the bottom. I would think it should come. It should come out. Might not. Doesn't want to. We appear to have. We'll have over two. This is interesting. I need to bring a camera in here so you can see this. This is interesting. Right, I've put it on its side so you can see what goes on here. That's the nut on top of the piston. Remove that, and then that comes out, which is the top part of the piston, and that there is a big piston ring, a really big, heavy, meaty piston ring. I want to make sure it goes back in the same way up, but that is a real proper job, that. Right, and then in there we've got the bottom half of the piston, which should come out like that. So we've got a two-piece piston with a ring in the middle like that. That will lock onto each other and leave room for the ring to move around. That's a really nice bit of kit. Right, so that's the piston out. Right, the cylinder itself is held on 3 places. Obviously there's this column and 2 big nuts and bolts through there. Once again, not what I would call tight. That's a different size as is that one. This is rusty, which is the sort of thing it'll polish up really nicely. So it's certainly got some history about it. It's been not bastardised, but it's been messed around with quite a bit in its past. That's the only nut I've found has been really tight on the whole engine actually. So hopefully that's a one-off bolt as well, Whitworth. Nice original big-headed bolt. Right, so now the only thing that's holding it on is just basically sitting on top of there. I've put the nut back on the piston rod so it won't fall onto the ground, and that should come off there. It's showing signs of moving. Yeah. Oh, heavy bastard. Take the nut off, pull the piston rod out, and the piston rod has got a taper on the end, exactly as I said. That goes onto there like that, and that, and that goes all that together. Right, now what I was looking at in the bore here, there's 2 marks in the bore, in fact 3. Not quite sure what's been going on here. I'll bring the camera in so you can see in there there's a, I don't know what they are, there's marks in there. Don't know. I'll bring the camera on, in fact I'll try to move the camera to get some light on it and just show you what I've discovered inside of here. Right, if I shine the light down the bore, there's been some repair work going on there. Don't quite know what's happened there. The bore's in good condition apart from these few marks, all in one place. A little bit there as well. And on the other side of it, that's exactly where they are. Parallel with that there. It wouldn't make any difference, it's still going to run, it'll not affect what I'm going to do with it. But this has obviously been cast in one piece and bored in one piece because the bottom, that doesn't come off. So there's no bottom cover, it's all cast as one. All the ports cast in, everything sort of quite nicely done. I like it. I don't like a little bit of damage up the bore, but it's not going to cause any real problems, I wouldn't have thought. It'll run on compressed air, it'll run on steam. Only better. Take these glands off. Just the one that seals the valve rod. The brass nuts on here, which is unusual, I suppose. That's BSF thread. There's a remainder of some packing in there, hard. But the rod goes in there and you put packing in there and that tightens down, that's what seals it. You've seen us do plenty packing on some of the Sentinel repairs I've done. Nothing at all untoward there. Right, let's have a look and see this one. I may get this cabinet cleaned and dipped. My friend Bob said he could possibly get it done at work, I'm not sure. Or I may just wire brush it myself and paint it. I'm not that keen on bead blasting or sand blasting engine components, getting rid of all the sand residue can certainly be a little bit problematic. And you won't see any of this anyway because this cylinder has a lagging cover on it. Once again, BSF threads. Studs are nicely finished off as well with a rounded end on them the way they're supposed to be. Right, so in here it hasn't got the normal shape on there that you normally have on a packing nut. And here we've got, there's no way that is original. That O-ring, I don't know what the idea of putting that in there is. Honestly I don't, but it won't be going back. And it's all been machined. It fits in, but it's a mile off going in that way. So whether that's been, I don't know, that's who I've machined that has made a right pig's ear of it, but I have managed to sort it out, sort of. But I'll be going to do something with that. Brass bush in there as well. You see the stud right on the edge. That's been, I don't know whether this was machined and then somebody else has had a go at it. It's definitely, it's got a story to it. Absolutely, it's interesting to see. There's been more than one person who had a go at this. Anyway, we haven't found anything that we can't fix, so that's all good news up to now. This is of course the first Sunday of the month and it's normally the time that I do the monthly draw. I'm going to do it tomorrow night, I'm going to do it Monday night because when you're watching this I should probably be at Whitby trying to get off a really soaking wet rally field. Anyway, thanks for watching.